Oh, hey, Dylan. I really like how you cleaned up the caricature. I think it's looking really cool, and I like how you've got, I'm going to turn this background off for a second. I like how you're repeating this blue color down here. It really, repetition is a major thing that works to create unity. So it's looking really cool. I would suggest doing the cast shadow. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it's right. I forgot I already posted it in here. But it's this one here, and it's really easy, and also it just really has this gradient, so it really, and you can pull the perspective however you want to make it look like, the angle of light's going a certain way. So that's one thing I would also suggest in terms of adding that element that's going to really work to create even more unity. A few other things, I would probably make the whole thing a little bit smaller. Let's see, I'm going to put all of this in one folder down here. I would probably just make it a little bit smaller. And I would probably move it over a little bit, like up here. I kind of like seeing this darkness down here. I think it looks pretty cool. You could even rotate it. Just, and this is what the last 2 weeks are, is really refining all this stuff. Just because I think if you have a little bit of a diagonal here, it's going to work really well with this one. And for your text, I would even go look on, let me see if I can find it here easily. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's up here. I would go to DaFont, and I would just look for, there's so many different cool fonts, even like, where's that? Groovy Cartoon, Square. All these techno ones are really pretty cool too. But anyway, there's just tons of them. There's 87 pages of these fonts, and that's just this one category, and they're super easy to install. It's just that I think that you have such a cool caricature, you really want to go the, sorry, this is something else. You really want to go the whole 9 yards to really get this to look just as top notch as you can, because it's such a cool idea. So I would probably, then I would put each word on a different layer, and then I would turn your name off for it now too. It's better to put that really small in the bottom, but I would split each word up in the title onto a different layer. Then you can really move it around and size it, and really get it looking good in this negative space here. And in terms of your background, it's just a little bit strong for the image. You really want to get the image to stand out more. So there's, you could do different things with it. You could, you could do some adjustments like a levels and see, because that'll also, make it look either lighter or darker. That's, you probably want to go lighter because most of your stuff is pretty dark. Anyway, I'm just playing around with this. This kind of doesn't, I don't know, this doesn't work that great though, because it's still a little bit complicated. Let's see if it was dark. No, you don't want to make it too dark. So I would just continue to work on the background. There's other things you can do too. You could you can change the opacity. That doesn't look that good though, actually. No, I don't like that. But you can change the blend modes as well. So you can go to I don't know, lighten. Oh no, that's right. You only have white underneath it, so that's not gonna really work that great, because you need to have another color. But you could, if you, let's say you filled this bottom up with a different color. So let's make it kind of like a light blue or something, and see how that. I'm just gonna make it something really light, and then if you fill that. And then you can play more with blend mode. So then you can, say darken. No, it's really not. Oh no, I'm on the wrong layer. Duh. No, sometimes it just doesn't do much. Oh yeah, that's kind of lighter color. Yeah, you'd have to really play with these, but that's also a way to get this to look you know, just so it lets the caricature stand out more. You can go to brightness and contrast. There's just a lot of different things you could do, but you can just kind of see that you just want to get a little, you know, get the guy to stand out a little bit more. Another thing you can do is you could go into the different layers here, or even the whole thing. If you wanted the whole thing to glow, which can look pretty darn corny, but you can select that whole, you know, that whole layer, and you can go into the styles, and you could add something like, you know, an outer glow. Oh, I'd have to turn that shadow thing off underneath it. Oh, I won't do it yet. So, but again, something like this, if you, this is way too big, but if you make it really small and you also turn off the, let me cancel this. You have to turn the shadow off or it's just not working out that good. Oh, I see. Well, that's a little thing under there, huh? Oh, there it is. So, this might work better. So or you can do it with, you know, just like, let's say this part, you can just do it with one, and, you know, just kind of experiment with it, because it also allows you to, you know, make some of these stand out. As you can see here, now see, it's kind of, I'm not saying I like the orange, but there's got to be something behind it, because it's not very, it's not really, no, it's too big. But you can kind of see what I'm getting at here. So if you add something to this to make it stand out, that will also really help. You could even add a stroke too. You can do something like a stroke. This is the red. I'm not going to mess with it too much, but again, you can see, I'll make it outside. You can see the stroke too works to kind of separate it a little bit, you know, from the background, and especially with some of these arms, because they're really hard to see. But again, getting a little bit simpler of a background would also kind of help to really allow it to stand out. Because as it is, some of these cool details are just really getting lost. Let's see where another one is here. You know, like this one, if you added one of those layer styles to it, like, you know, oh, I mean, I'm not saying I really like this orange, but I think some more warm colors would really help. And again, this is too big. You can either make it really opaque like that. That looks kind of cool. Or you could just make it, you know, smaller. There's just a lot of different things you can do. You can make, you know, get it the way you want, and then you could lower the opacity. But anyway, so I'm just trying to give you some ideas, because you have such a cool thing going. I think the more you can make it stand out, the better. I would probably just go with a different, you know, or a background that just was a lot lighter, so it would allow everything to stand out. Okay, so anyway, I'm blabbing on too long, but I think it's looking really great. And the last couple of weeks are all about editing, so yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Really nice job.